Sidney Godolphin, the 9th of February 1643, was an English poet, courtier and politician who sat in the House of Commons between 1628 and 1643. He died fighting in the Royalist army in the English Civil War. Biography. Godolphin was the second son of Sir William Godolphin of Godolphin, Cornwall, by his wife Thomasin, and was baptized on 15 January 1610. He was admitted a commoner of Exeter College, Oxford, 25 June 1624, aged 18, remained there for 3 years, and afterwards entered one of the Inns of Court, and travelled abroad. He was elected Member of Parliament MP for Helston in 1628 and sat until 1629, when King Charles decided to rule without Parliament for 11 years. Godolphin was elected again as MP for Helston to the Short Parliament in March 1640, and to the Long Parliament in October 1640. He was known as an adherent of Strafford, and was one of the last Royalist members to leave the House. When the Civil War broke out, he made a final speech of warning, and left to raise a force in Cornwall. Despite his diminutive stature, he, refusing an officer's commission and choosing to serve as a trooper, joined the cavalry of the army commanded by Sir Ralph Hopton, which crossed the Tamar and advanced into Devon. A declaration signed by Godolphin is in Lismore Papers. Godolphin, whose advice, according to Clarendon, was highly valued by the commanders in spite of his lack of military experience, was shot in a skirmish at Chagford. Godolphin was buried in the chancel of Okehampton Church on 10 February 1643. His will, dated 23 June 1642, contained a bequest of £200 to Thomas Hobbes. He gave some plate to Exeter College, Oxford. Poems. Godolphin left poems which were never collected in a separate volume. The Passion of Dido for Aeneas, as it is incomparably expressed in the 4th book of Virgil, finished by Edmund Waller, was published in 1658 and 1679, and is in the 4th volume of Dryden's Miscellany Poems. He was one of certain persons of quality whose translation of Pierre Corneille's The La Mort de Pompée was published in 1664. A song is in George Ellis's Specimens of the Early English Poets, and another in the Tixall Poetry. Other poems in manuscript are in the Harleian MSS and the Malone MSS in the Bodleian Library. His elegy on John Donne was included in the 2nd edition of the Poets' Collected Poetry, and commendatory verses by him are prefixed to Sandys's Paraphrase, and an epitaph upon the Lady Rich is in John Gordon's Funerals Made Cordial. Haunting. It is alleged that Godolphin's ghost haunts the Three Crowns Hotel in Chagford. He is said to stride the corridors in full uniform,